Hi, you guys. Sort of like sorry, let me sweep up a little bit. It's sort of like this disembodied head freaking me out a little bit. Yeah, I wanted to mention, I've got this handmade deck from Etsy. I think it's beautiful. It happens to be in French, which I didn't really know when I ordered it. I like it for the hand painted illustrations. You know, somebody made this. It's not a AI, and I think they're cool in French. But they also have the reversal situation. Like, that's not a great example, but Wheel of Fortune. One, the upright is fortune. The reversal, what's written at the bottom of the deck, kind of the shadow side, is advancement. I'm getting in a kind of status way, or more money or something like that. Good fortune in that sense, versus the gift of grace, where you don't have to earn it per se. The universe says, right, you've made the grade. This is your reward. And it's not like tit for tat. Anyway, it's a complicated deck. So I'm going to read just a few cards out of this, and then I'll probably switch decks. Because this is really a challenge. But then I'm going to send it to one of my favorite readers, Birth of Venus Tarot, because her first language is French. So she'd get it really fast. And, whether or not she uses this deck, it would be interesting to her, it seems to me, for this reversal aspect and for the facility of being able to read it and translate it. She's trilingual. French, English, tarot, at the least. I mean, for all I know, she's got more languages than that. So, they're hard to shuffle. Let's just see what we get. Same card. Wheel of Fortune. In the upright. This is like karmic, the wheel turning. And you being ready for it. It's not just advancement on the basis of your work, or you get a new status or something like that. This is like the major arcana, deep psychic energy of you aligned with what the universe is trying to move you into. And it's always a better place. And it's the same card we were talking about. But I mean, Rue, would you cut it? Oh, she wants to go in the closet. Maybe not now, honey. Oh man, I've rearranged stuff and now she can't get where she wants to go. Okay, that's all I can do. Sorry about that. And speaking of rearranging, well, I'll get into that later, but I've been, moving things around in my house, which I used to do a couple of times a year when I had the brute force people to help me with furniture. I can't do that now. But I realized if I move slowly and carefully, I can do a lot of it on my own. I don't go billy goating up the stairs anymore. I have to be really careful. But that slowing down factor, is sort of a mindfulness exercise where nothing is rote. You have to really, it's like a walking meditation, but it's a moving around my own house and kind of reclaiming it. But for a long time, I couldn't even do the stairs. It's too dangerous. Horrible balance issues and, other stuff. Okay. Allowing yourself to come into alignment with the story the universe is trying to point you toward. It's something bigger, something better, but not just a kind of mechanical growth. Yeah. I mean, that's why this deck is tough for me. I'm not, I can speak English and I am, getting more and more fluent in tarot. French, beyond me. This is the Knight of something. Where did this, oh, here we go. I can't see my specs without my spec. I think it's, hang on. Arrogance. Okay. I'm not sure who it is. It has the dual horses like the Chariot. Its positive aspect is dissension, disagreement. I'm willing to stand my ground kind of energy. And the negative aspect is arrogance. And on the side, it appears to say the despot. The leader who leads in their own self-interest and rules with an iron fist and doesn't care about the people in his care. It almost feels like emperor to me. The despot. There is a way in which emperor rules not cooperatively, not delegating. But if it is that sort of argumentative, arrogant energy, moving forward from that to a better place, stepping into a karmic destiny that's not to do with repression of somebody else. Because he has the scepter and the mitre, or whatever this thing is. Could be the king of something. Yeah, see, it's wasting time. Okay, one more, and then we'll just quit it and go to a different deck. I can get up the stairs with a relative degree of disability. I can't read tarot in French. Okay. This is the Eight of Pentacles. The environment that sustains, that somebody's built for themselves. And in this card, it specifically references money. Pentacles do, can, or things of value, you know. And this is the result of somebody's work. So, I mean, karma is earned in that sense. You know, you put a certain energy out there, and it comes, and the thing comes back to you. So a little bit of a boomerang energy. Four of Pentacles, a card of holding back. Reserves, or because you want stability, somebody does. It's a 4, so is Emperor. If this arrogant fellow is indeed the Emperor, that's a 4 card too, 4 in Major Arcana. And this is sort of like in that element of arrogance. You know, this is like being so structured. It can be a card of stubbornness. Holding out, maybe strategically. And who have we got here? The World. Married, you know, on and off with the glasses. Air. I think it's the Ace of Swords. Although why in French it's air too, I don't know. But that's the way I'm going to read it, because it doesn't look like sword energy to me, except that it's this bullseye. Like the dart, the one sword hitting the bullseye. Something that has a clear and straight trajectory to pinpoint something. And it might even be to, in some way, fix it. In the sense of pin it. Some idea that could be spot on. Let's see what the last guy has. Cups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cups. This can be well, I was going to say a variety of options, but I said priorities, which I think we have to go with. You know, ordinarily it can be confusion or envisioning all kinds of different options in terms of cups energy connections, or you know, love, affection. So there's been a maturation, 8 of Pentacles, something coming to fruition, some sort of work accomplished in 3D. And the work accomplished has to do with karmic destiny and having earned, you know, this endorsement by the universe in the way that karma is earned. What you put out, you know, there's an exchange of energy. And it's tangible. It comes through into the 3D. And I think it has something to do with mastering, you know, this is sort of the Lord Master energy. And I think dissension as being one of it's like the rebel. You know, somebody who could be reevaluating what matters, 8 of Pentacles. Seeing the fruits of their labor. with a kind of rebel with a cause kind of energy. You know, I'm going to rule, but from a different place. Because now I understand what I'm supposed to do. And that's the work. I've achieved this level of high masculine energy. I've done the work, and this is the result. Advancement from a kind of stuck place in 3D. I've done the work about that. So I'm moving forward in a big way in kind of chariot / emperor energy. You know, having figured something out about the options. The intention to focus. Not in this sort of stubborn, fixed way. Not hanging on. It could be 10. No, I think it's Ace. The new way of looking at it. The new way of looking at the options. This is loosening it up, you know. Lots of possibilities for connection versus a kind of stubborn blocking energy of holding back. This is almost like giving into your fantasy life. That's one meaning of 7 of Cups. You know, allowing these possibilities, these options to rise up. Not quashing them. This is quashing them, 4 of Pentacles. So, you know, it's a new beginning here in how you look at the world. How you focus. And this is like a loose focus. This isn't like, this is a focus that allows for, you know, it isn't quite fantasy, but it's all the things I can feel. I don't have to pick one. You know, there's some kind of realization, Ace of Swords, about somebody's been holding back. Not anymore, Wheel of Fortune. I think that's enough. It's a short read, but it seems to me, well, okay, they're saying do a couple. I'll do this deck because it's easy to grab, and I haven't done it in a long time. And I just love it. And as I pulled it out, let me sit down. Poof! Temperance from a different deck popped out. There's a card of healing and divine timing. And I'm getting sort of, it's about time. You know, the universe is saying, yeah, go for it. You know, you're ready. Like surrender a bit of the control. In 3D and in 5D. That's the work. 8 of Pentacles. And the work has earned you the upgrade. And whatever it is it, I mean, this is like the overriding energy. It's healing. It's balance of these two, you know, it's kind of like the energetic fuel mixture. You know, there's one kind to make a car run, there's one kind to make a chainsaw run, and this is sort of your psychic, the formula for your psychic engine. You know, that angelic presence that's all about balance, a healing balance. Okay, this is a massive deck, which is also hard to shuffle. I don't know what that's about, but I like it a lot. And let's just see if we get a popper. If not, I'll find another. Okay, find another there too. Hanged Man. Sorry, I held up the wrong one. This is Ace of Wands. This is Hangman. But in this case, Hangman usually indicates a kind of stasis. You know, being hung up, kind of. A card of non-action. But look at this. This person is almost like the sky hooks that come down to rescue people and fly them to the other place. This hardly, to me, speaks of stasis. It's forward movement, out of stasis. You know, because the timing is right. I'm getting for Dancing in the Street. This is a card of direction, pointing the way. It's also kind of, it looks a bit like that. You know, so there's a defiance in that, a dissension somehow, like, you know, there is an element of like pointing the direction, I'm out of here. Not through my own efforts. This is Hangman. No effort, really. It's surrender. Allowing the universe to just, going limp and allowing this actual forward movement in stillness. It's a really interesting, in a direction of life force energy, waking up. Getting on the move. And this looks to me, in its reminiscent kind of chariot flavor, is also getting on the move. Being drawn by your emotions. This is a card of Pisces. You know, like surrendering to the deep feelings that will just transport you forward in a way that you don't have a whole lot of control over. These are sort of opposite cards. This I see as a card of control, perhaps emotional control, and this is a card of surrendering to those deep feelings that will transport you forward in a given direction. It's a new beginning, a new way, literally in direction, a new way. And in the card of synthesis, you see how these two apparent paths, are meandering, but they come to the same point. They land in the same place, in divine timing. There's a blend and a synthesis and a healing that brings both people by different routes, but kind of, it's the mirroring. The routes mirror each other. You know, same direction. And you're both, I think, coming out of stasis. It's been an emotional stasis, Piscean energy of feelings. This is a card of passion, life force. Not stasis, because now's the time. And it's sort of willy-nilly forward movement. It's outside your control. You've surrendered to something. Bottom of the deck. Ooh. Owie. 5 of Swords. to me, because of this person's posture, they're kind of trying to control, manipulate something in the universe. They're sort of going, ooh, they're trying to bring it in. And what they're bringing in, Five of Swords isn't a great energy. It's divisive. It can be manipulative in that sense of like, I'm going to bring it in. And it's in some way, because swords are about belief and speech, it's almost like, I can cast this spell. I can speak words that will can be self-deception. Well, we can't stop there. Fives indicate a need for change. This certainly is a change. Based on feelings, not on sword energy thought. There's a new way, Ace of Swords. A new way of thinking. Oh my goodness, because, that cycle is ending. This is, Five of Swords is like the two-sided thing, and Rider-Waite, it's the two opposing forces, the argument, the contention, the winner-loser card. This might be trying to manipulate an outcome. How to win an argument, or where beliefs clash. Swords are about beliefs. That's over. And this is a really sad one. It's the father mourning the death of the child. It's this essential fissure. Like, life will never be the same. There was this part, perhaps when this inner child, or a literal child, or this new beginning, crashed and burned. Perhaps because somebody was in bad sword energy where they were trying to manipulate, and it split the worlds. I think it's about inner child work. And we have Ten of Swords, Ace of Swords. The cycle closed out here. And in a way, would you want Five of Swords to close out? Yes, it's a very challenging energy for understanding. Over. Going to begin again. In a place of options, about connection, not this fissure place. Not this overthinking, brain is not on your side place. It's about exploring feelings. In that Piscean energy that involves surrender. Ace of Wands is a card of direction. So in that sense, it's, in 3D, the opportunity, aces, to pick a path. Remember the paths. Pick a path. Pick the healing path. The healing of emotion. That will move you forward. Out of the brain, into the heart. We get that message again and again. Into the heart. Prince of Swords. A joyful offer of connection. It's like, out of these options, Seven of Cups, There's one that's motivated somebody to move forward. On the move. Cup in hand. Kind of heart in hand, right? Cups are about feelings, heart-centered feelings. Piscean feelings. It's like in 3D, in this minor arcana way, transported by surrendering to emotion to kind of empower you and determine the path. It's the healing path. It's also, this is a fire energy, an Ace of Wands fire energy, pointing the way. But it's a path based not only on passion, Wands energy, but on love, on surrendering to love. And when that happens, this person, possibly a water sign, moves forward. Heart in hand. Heart in hand. To offer it to someone. Now's the time. Stepping into this. Out of, end of cycle, out of this. Heart in hand. Thanks, you guys. That's it. I did want to say, I'm not going to do the giveaway of because I realize not all of you want to read tarot. You want to hear it. If you did want to explore that, I would suggest, and you have a tarot deck, you can even just pick one card, pull a card, and figure out what that one card is, major or minor arcana, just to begin to work the translation. Because it's a visual language, it has all the nuances of a language, but it might be useful to you. The other thing, though, I wanted to say is I'm working on setting up a membership situation, which for the same small contribution gets you a membership in the channel, which has perks, which has extra readings, which has live readings, readings that respond to questions you submit, stuff like that, just that's more interactive with a smaller group of people who want to sort of energetically, in terms of coinage, opt in. It's a ticket to ride. And it gets, for I don't know how much, it's going to be a rather dinky amount. Cup of coffee kind of purchase would get you, I don't know, 8 more videos a month, something like that. So think about it. That, I don't know how you feel about it. It's what I'm going to try next. And because I think it's more broad that way, not just addressing people who might be interested in getting a deck. Okay, a wider net, right? Thank you. Talk to you next time.